Welcome to the Flir C8 tutorial that covers the basics of operating your thermal imager. Before we start, it is important to remember that knowing how to use this camera is just the first step. To get the most out of your thermal imager, thermographers must also understand how to interpret what they're seeing, and that includes how to accurately measure temperatures. Here are two examples that demonstrate exactly what we're talking about. The side of this house really isn't cold, and this electrical equipment isn't hot. It's only with certification training that you'll understand what's happening here and what you can do about it. So if you're ready to get certified, watch until the end of this presentation to learn more about the Infrared Training Center. Throughout the year, the Infrared Training Center offers hundreds of dates at a number of convenient locations, including online certification courses too. Head to infraredtraining.com to learn more. For now, let's talk about the basics of operating your Flir C8 thermal imager. The Flir C8 thermal imager is designed for electrical and mechanical maintenance, vehicle inspections, and other troubleshooting applications. It offers a 320 by 240 detector array with a 35-degree lens and features Flir MSX technology that enhances details on a target. The touchscreen display is easy to use and allows operators to quickly inspect targets and share their results. It also offers a variety of features thermographers expect from a thermal imager these days, including access to several measurement tools, multiple color palettes, great thermal sensitivity, and much more. An internal battery offers 3 hours of runtime and can be charged via the USB port found on the side of the device. The C8 also works with Flir Ignite, a cloud-based data management system that automatically syncs your saved images. Ignite cloud connectivity allows direct data transfer so you can store and back up your thermal images. Live streaming via USB is also available. We'll discuss Flir Ignite later in this presentation. For now, let's move on to the basics of camera operation. To do that, I have a Flir coffee mug, which we'll use as a target for these demonstrations. If you want to follow along, feel free to pause the video, grab yourself a cup of coffee or a glass of warm water, and come right back. To turn the camera on, press and hold the power button located on the top edge of the thermal imager. The Flir logo will appear, and you should soon see a live thermal image. To the right of the power button is the Save button. This is used to capture thermal images, which we'll demonstrate a bit later in the presentation. For now, let's review the rest of the control buttons and other functions found on the camera housing. Starting with the front of the thermal imager, we see the infrared lens. Avoid touching the lens, as it is covered with a special coating that plays an important role in the camera's ability to measure temperatures. If this coating gets damaged or worn off, it will affect the accuracy of your temperature measurements. Procedures on how to properly clean a lens can be found in your user manual. Below the infrared camera lens is the visual camera lens. This is used to capture visible light control photos that thermographers typically include in their reports. The LED camera lamp over here is used to help illuminate targets to capture better visible light photos when saving data in low light conditions. The lanyard attachment point is where you can connect the neck strap that's included with your thermal imager. Next to the lanyard attachment on the bottom of the camera, you'll also find a receptacle to attach a tripod quick release plate. This allows operators to attach the thermal imager to a tripod if desired. On the left side of the thermal imager, you'll find the USB-C connector port. This is used for charging your camera and is also available for data transfer to offload thermal images from the device. On the back of the thermal imager is the camera screen. Most of the camera's functionality is accessed through this touchscreen display. This includes the main menu, which can be opened by pressing the 3 dots in the lower right corner. We'll discuss more of these features here in a moment. For now, tap the X in the upper right corner to close the menu and return to a live image. To the right of the display are 3 buttons for Live View, Gallery, and Settings. The Live View button brings you to a live thermal image, such as the one seen here. The Gallery button is where you go to view saved data. And Settings opens the device settings menu, where operators can set the date and time, connect to Wi-Fi, change temperature ranges, and much more. We'll discuss these settings here in a moment. Finally, there is a hidden menu that can be accessed from the main display. Swipe down from the top of the touchscreen to view. Here you can turn Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on or off. Sign into your Ignite account to automatically upload saved images to the cloud, and activate the LED lamp to illuminate your target. There is also a slider here on the right that adjusts the brightness of your display. Swipe back up to return to a live image. Let's take some time to explore more of the camera's features and the various settings that you'll want to configure. Having the correct date and time entered into your camera is important for proper documentation and record keeping. These values are tied to each file when you save a thermal image and cannot be changed afterwards. To set the date and time, open the Settings menu. Select Device Settings, and then Language, Time, and Units. Under Date and Time, you should see options to set your time format, the date format, and the time zone. As for setting the date and time, if you're connected to a Wi-Fi network, this should update automatically. If not, we'll show you how to connect to a network a little bit later. Use the fields to make manual adjustments. Tap the Time field and change the time setting by swiping up and down. Then press the back arrow to return to the Date and Time submenu. Repeat this process to set the correct date, swiping up and down in the fields. Press the back arrow again to return to the Date and Time submenu, and once more to return to Language, Time, and Units. This is where operators can also change the distance and temperature units in the thermal imager. Press the back arrow once more to return to the main settings menu, or press the Live View button to the right of the camera display to return to a live thermal image. The range covers an interval of temperatures that the detector can accurately measure without going into saturation. You work within a range, and when saving an image, all of the temperature data in that particular range is captured. The C8 thermal imager offers 2 temperature ranges, allowing operators to measure temperatures up to 450 degrees Celsius. To set the range, navigate to the Settings menu and select Camera Temperature Range. 2 options are displayed. Range 1 covers temperatures from -20 to 150 degrees Celsius, while Range 2 works from 0 to 450 degrees Celsius. Select your desired range, with Range 1 typically being the most appropriate to use for any targets that are below 150 degrees Celsius. Remember, range is not something you can change after saving an image, so be sure to have the correct value selected before capturing any data. To return to a live thermal image, press the Live View button. The Flir C8 thermal imager comes with 4 different imaging modes that allow you to customize how targets are displayed on the screen. This includes Thermal MSX, which adds visible light details to the infrared image. MSX stands for Multispectral Dynamic Imaging and improves contrast by superimposing visible light details not normally seen by the thermal imager. This can include equipment labels or breaker numbers, as well as edges or patterns on objects. Navigate to the main menu by selecting the 3 dots in the lower right corner of the display. Next, select Image Mode, where you will find the following options: Thermal MSX, Full Thermal, Digital Camera Only, and Picture-in-Picture. While a number of thermographers typically use full thermal mode, many others enjoy working with MSX as it provides both thermal and visible light data that enhances important details to help you identify your target. Press the arrow to close the image mode submenu and tap the X to close the main menu. Now, when MSX is enabled, tapping on the touchscreen reveals a distance value in the upper right corner of the display. This is the alignment distance that operators can adjust to ensure that the visible light overlay matches the thermal image. Touch the distance value and a slider will appear that allows you to adjust this alignment distance. This corrects for the parallax or offset that occurs when you have two different lenses situated on two different focal planes. Measurement Tools allows you to add temperature data to your thermal image. The Flir C8 Thermal Imager offers several different measurement tools for operators. These can be found in the main menu under Measurement. The Center Spot tool provides a single point temperature measurement. The Hotspot turns on an area box and displays a maximum temperature inside the defined space. The Cold Spot does the same, but with the minimum temperature value instead. Tap the icons to turn each measurement tool on or off. Press the arrow to back out of the Measurements menu, and press the X to close the main menu. When a measurement tool is selected, the temperature values are displayed in the upper left corner on the touchscreen. If an area box is selected, operators can move and resize the box on the display. Tap the corners and drag to increase the measurement area on the screen. You can also reposition it by pressing the center of the box and dragging it around the display. While the C8 offers basic functionality with measurement tools, remember that all of these and more can be accessed in your reporting software such as Thermal Studio or online with Flir Ignite. When using measurement tools, you also need to adjust the values for emissivity, reflected temperature, relative humidity, air temperature, and atmospheric distance. These are known as measurement parameters. All five have an impact on temperature accuracy, with emissivity and reflected temperature being the most important. Navigate to the Settings menu and select Measurement Parameters. Tap Emissivity to change this parameter. Use a custom value and select the number by swiping up and down until you've reached the desired emissivity. Press the back arrow to return to the previous screen where you can adjust the remaining fields. Once finished, press the Live View button to return to a live thermal image. Knowing the correct settings to use requires a Level 1 IR certification training course at a minimum. For now, please make sure you're familiar with how to change these in the camera, and remember that these can also be adjusted in your reporting software. The Flir C8 comes with a number of different color palettes that allow you to add varying levels of contrast to the thermal image. Open the main menu and select the color palette icon. Operators can then swipe through and select from a variety of different color palettes. These include Iron, Rainbow, Rainbow High Contrast, White Hot, Black Hot, Arctic, and Lava. 2 isotherms or color alarms are also available on the C8. The above alarm highlights regions of apparent temperature that are warmer than a defined value, while the below alarm provides this for areas of the image that are colder than a certain temperature. Let's demonstrate the above alarm using our Flir coffee mug. Select Above Alarm and set the temperature value to 40 degrees Celsius. Next, Press the arrow twice to back out to the main menu, and then select the X to close it. Any surface with an apparent temperature that's above 40 degrees Celsius will now be highlighted in red. Remember that both color palettes and isotherms can also be adjusted in your software after saving an image. Thermal tuning is the process of changing the temperature scale in the camera. This is called adjusting span and level. Modifying the scale changes the brightness and contrast of the thermal image, helping you better identify thermal anomalies on the target. The camera is typically set to automatic adjustment mode by default. This automatically changes the temperature scale based on the hottest and coldest objects in the field of view. There may be times, however, when manual adjustment is required. This is especially true when there are very hot or cold targets in the frame. Select the temperature scale option from the main menu to open the span and level settings. Tap the finger icon to switch to manual mode. This will highlight the top and bottom temperature values displayed on the scale. Next, swipe up and down on the virtual slider to change these values. When moving both numbers together at the same time, this is known as adjusting level and is similar to changing the brightness of the thermal image. To adjust span, deselect one of the temperature values to lock its position. Now, with just the top temperature highlighted, swiping up and down on the virtual slider changes the upper scale value while leaving the bottom number fixed. Notice how the contrast changes on the coffee mug. We can do the same with the lower temperature, first locking the top value and then selecting the bottom number. Moving the virtual slider now changes the lower temperature while the top stays locked. Manual mode also provides access to one-touch level and span. This feature allows you to tap any area on the touchscreen to automatically readjust the temperature scale. Highlight both numbers to enable one-touch auto adjustment. Now, when you touch the screen, the scale will readjust using the temperature data at that location. Focus is another adjustment that must be set correctly before saving data. You cannot change focus once you've captured a thermal image. The Flir C8 series of thermal imagers makes focusing easy, and that these are fixed focus systems. No focus adjustment is necessary with this particular infrared camera. Your images will always be in focus, so just make sure your target is properly framed before saving. The non-uniformity correction is a function that resets the detector array and removes thermal artifacts displayed on the image. These anomalies are created when heat generated inside the camera or energy that's absorbed from the surrounding environment affects the stability of the detector array. These anomalies can appear to be warmer or cooler than their actual target and are most noticeable when you move the thermal imager. The non-uniformity correction provides a cleaner image by resetting the detector and removing these artifacts. The clicking that you hear is a shutter that drops down in front of the detector inside the camera. Its purpose is to provide a uniform target for the detectors to reset against. The result is a better image that's more thermally stable and consistent throughout your inspection. You can force a non-uniformity correction by holding down the gallery button located next to the touchscreen display. The image will pause for a moment while the shutter engages and the word calibrating appears at the top of the screen. To save an image with the Flir C8, point the camera at your target, frame it properly, and press the Save button. This is located next to the power button on the top edge of the thermal imager. This will capture both a thermal image and a visible light control photo. To view your saved images, press the Gallery button. This will bring up a folder that contains your saved images. Tap the folder to browse through the thumbnails of your saved data. Select an individual thumbnail to view the saved image and touch the screen once more to reveal a menu header that contains several options. Touching the three dots in the upper right corner will reveal a submenu that allows you to open and edit an image. Select the edit icon. This will open the image and provide most of the functionality that's available in live viewing mode. Select the main menu option in the lower right corner of the screen to access image mode, measurement, and color palettes. Here you can change the color palette or adjust the viewing mode if desired. Operators can also make adjustments to span and level. Click the X in the upper right corner to close the main menu. Then select which numbers you would like to change on the temperature scale and use the virtual slider to make these adjustments. Press the return arrow in the upper right corner to back out of the image editor. If any modifications were made to your image, you will be prompted to either save these or discard the changes. Tap the screen once again to bring up the menu header. Here, operators will also find an option to delete the image. The image mode icon seen here toggles you between the thermal and visual displays of the saved image, and the back arrow in the upper left corner returns you to the thumbnail gallery. Then, tapping the arrow once more returns you to the main image gallery containing all of your folders. It's here that you can also add a new folder or upload data to the cloud using your Flir Ignite account. Flir Ignite is a cloud-based data management system that saves your images, keeps them organized, and provides the ability to generate reports. Users create an account and, when connected to Ignite via Wi-Fi on their thermal imager, any images they save are automatically synced with their account. To get started, let's first set up an Ignite account. Open a web browser and head to ignite.flir.com. Click Sign Up or Sign In to create an account. Enter your email address. This will be your username. Then select Continue, where you'll then be prompted to enter and create a password. After reviewing the terms and conditions and acknowledging that you've read them, follow the prompts that introduce you to Ignite and its many features. Now, Ignite offers a lot, so we'll cover more of that in another tutorial. For now, just make sure to get your account established so that we can connect your camera. Now that we have an Ignite account set up, the next step is to connect your thermal imager to a Wi-Fi network. This will allow us to sign in to Ignite and start syncing our images. To connect your thermal imager to Wi-Fi, go to Settings and select Connections. Turn on Wi-Fi, select an appropriate network, and enter your password to connect. Once connected, navigate back to the main settings menu where you can sign in to Ignite and pair the thermal imager to your account. To pair your thermal imager with an Ignite account, navigate to the camera settings menu, tap the Flir Ignite option at the top of the screen, and select Sign In. Here you'll see two options for connecting a camera. A URL is available if you prefer to do this via a web browser, or you can use your smartphone camera to scan the QR code. Let's try that. Open the camera app on your cell phone and look at the QR code. A web link should appear. Click the link and you'll be redirected to the Flir Ignite website. Once the page comes up on your phone, sign in using the username and password that you just created for your new Ignite account. Once logged in, the 8-character pairing code displayed on your thermal imager should also automatically appear in your phone's web browser. Select Start Pairing and wait for a confirmation to appear that it has been successful. The camera display should change and your registered name will now show up. This confirms that you are now connected to your Flir Ignite account. This should display your account information, including your email address, a status bar showing how much storage remains on your account, and an option to switch auto upload on or off. Let's leave it on for now to take full advantage of Ignite's ability to back up our thermal data. We hope you've enjoyed this overview of the Flir C8 Thermal Imager. If you have any questions or need additional help with the camera or software, the following pages are available for thermographers on the Flir support website. Here you'll find a summary of key features, additional technical information, user guides, frequently asked questions, and much more. However, learning how to use the camera and software is just your first step. It's only with certification training that you'll get the most out of your investment in this technology. And that's where the Infrared Training Center can help. Increase your credibility, enhance your career, and build your business. These are just some of what you'll accomplish with certification courses from the Infrared Training Center. Whether you're joining us in the classroom, on-site, or online, our course schedule is packed with upcoming training dates at a number of convenient locations worldwide. Learn from industry veterans and thermal imaging experts who will help guide you through an interactive and practical educational experience with training that meets or exceeds industry standards.
I would 100% recommend this program to friends or colleagues. A little bit of knowledge with this technology can really go a long way and alleviate these problems that affect us all. Don't wait. Join us for certification training with your Flir C8 Thermal Imager. To register, give us a call or go to infraredtraining.com to learn more and start your journey towards certification with the Infrared Training Center.